A Forest Fable, a short story written and narrated by Anne Halstead. Not very far from where we live is a pine forest we fondly refer to as Little Scotland. It reminds us of the heady times we spent in our 20s exploring Dumfries and Galloway, where we would spend days hiking through the intoxicating aromas of pine and leaf mould, marvelling at majestic views so breathtaking words could not do them justice, and gazing at lochs so calm their surface would perfectly mirror the sky, which would either be dark grey, ominous clouds threatening a downpour, or the tease of blue sky hiding behind white fluffy ones that would occasionally part for golden rays to stream through, connecting heaven and earth. We would walk for hours, accompanied by our border collie Penny. She was in her element on these walks, as were we. Our futures stretched out in front of us like the forest trails ahead, a metaphor for things we had yet to encounter. The rocky sections, the steep inclines that felt they would never end, and the smooth sections that gave us a much-needed breather and a chance to recover in readiness for the next challenge that lay ahead. Every now and again we'd meet a fellow walker to exchange a cheery greeting with. There's an unspoken camaraderie between nature lovers. The nod with a knowing smile is a recognition of something deep within that longs for connection back to our roots and a much simpler way of life. Foregoing weekends and evenings when the hordes descend to walk their dogs, on occasion we find the time to escape to our place. For in these quieter times, Little Scotland is a place of magic, where pine trees stretch high into the sky, their branches reaching for the kiss of the sun, and their trunks lead your eyes on a winding journey into places explored only by wildlife. Sometimes we catch a glimpse of a deer standing stock still, their eyes focused steadfast on us as we reflect their statuesque state, not daring to move a muscle should it break the spell. Are they as captivated by us as we are of them, I often wonder? And a tinge of sadness creeps in as they turn and flee, their instinct reminding them that not all humans can be trusted. In my mind I shout after them, "Please wait, I won't hurt you, I promise." But my silent pleas fall on deaf ears, and who can blame them? Humans can be so, well, inhuman, can't they? A visit has been long overdue, but finally we found a window of time and set foot on this sacred soil once more. With every step, those muscles taut through hours of desk work slowly begin to release their tension, and with every breath, our cells vibrated in celebration of coming home. The scenery shifts from pines to open plains. We note the changes that have occurred since our last visit. Trees have been thinned out, letting in much more light. The expanse of bilberry bushes, whose fruit sadly we miss this year, are beginning to shrink back in preparation for winter. The ancient forest that runs along one side is beginning its shift from the greens of summer, hinting now at the yellows, golds and reds that will slowly be revealed like hidden treasure in a lucky find. Movement captures my eye. A squirrel undulates along the forest floor, effortlessly climbing a tree trunk before disappearing from view. The lilting trill of the blue tits calling to each other break the silence, and in contrast, the raspy caw of a crow brings my attention back. The energy here embraces you, like a soothing blanket draped over the world-weary, and it just feels, well, it just feels right, you know? I catch my breath as a flame-red patch draws my eye. I focus, squinting in the sunlight, and an inner smile breaks through on my face in recognition. It's a fly agaric mushroom. I grin and spot more. From round red balls emerging from the earth to parasol-like ones that proudly display their underskirts of frills, I love the white wart-like splashes that contrast against the crimson tops, remnants of the white veil of tissue that once enclosed its young form. And it's these iconic markings that give rise to the recognition as fairy toadstools in magical tales and folklore. Tiny, delicate mushrooms litter the trail, their long stems bending as though their caps weigh heavy. With eyes attuned, I notice other varieties, some translucent, almost fluorescent, others like umbrellas that have blown inside out by the wind, and some huge, dark and slimy ones that seem to say, "Touch me and death awaits." One day, I promised myself, I will learn the names and properties of all the varieties, but until then I keep a respectful distance, admiring only with my eyes and the knowledge that autumn is indeed well on its way. As we continue our walk, I keep a keen lookout, hoping to spot more, and soon my wish is fulfilled. "Look at those!" I exclaim, and bend double, ducking underneath the needleless branches that create a makeshift barrier to those wanting to explore. Twigs grab my hair, momentarily stopping me in my tracks, but undeterred, I bend lower, intently focused. I choose the path of least resistance, twisting and turning towards a little clearing ahead. There before me lay a trail of fly agaric, leading my eyes further into the trees. The wind carries what I swear is the sound of a tinkling bell far in the distance. I strain my ears. Did I really hear what I just heard? The sound echoes through the forest once more, and this time it was followed by an ethereal giggle, so near yet so far away. I glanced behind me. I could see a glimpse of Jonathan waiting patiently on the trail for me, his presence reassuring. I turn and inch my way forward, ignoring the warnings spinning around my head. The Fae can be devious and dangerous. Stay well away, lest you be tricked into a world from where there is no return. But the tinkling of the bell and the lilt of the soft giggle is too alluring, and I am compelled to keep moving forward, away from the safety of the path and out of reach from my would-be rescuer. A pinprick of light twinkles, then another and another. It's a string of tiny fairy lights. I laugh out loud at how ridiculous that sounds. Maybe I hit my head on a branch and I'm hallucinating, I think. I mean, come on, really? Do I believe in fairies? Well, I daren't not do, lest one should die, because of that thought. That's what we've been led to believe, haven't we? I keep inching forward, following the sound of the bell and the laughter, and now I swear I can hear music. Fast, uplifting, the type of music that pulls you to your feet and moves your body to its beat. There's no resisting. It's almost as though there's an invisible force coaxing me further. I follow the trail of lights to what seems like a tiny opening in a tree trunk, yet somehow, the closer I get, the larger the opening grows, and I crouch at the entrance, my face bathed in a golden light that emanates from inside. I want to shout out and tell Jonathan what I've found, but no sound will emerge, so I clamp my mouth shut. He'll know, I think, not utterly convinced. As my eyes adjust to the glow, I see a staircase winding its way down and around the inside of the trunk, and I take hold of the handrail, the coolness of the metal a sharp contrast to the warmth of my palm. Thoughts of Alice in Wonderland spring to mind. How can I fit, I question. After all, I haven't taken anything to shrink or grow. Sometimes we just need to go with the flow, so I take a deep breath and a tentative step and begin my descent down the beautifully grained, polished wooden steps. I don't feel afraid. Should I be? As the last steps came into view, there before me stands an ancient panelled wooden door. The frame is arched at the top and the door follows its contours. A dark, twisted metal ring sits above a keyhole. I take it in my grasp and hold my breath as I twist it a quarter turn. What if it's locked? But then there's a dull click and the door begins to glide away from me. I step through the archway into another soft glow of light. This time it's like walking into a blanket of indigo, deep and nurturing. Sit, I hear a gentle voice say, but I can't see anyone. Was the voice in my mind? I couldn't be sure. In the centre of the space is a plush reclining chair. It looks so soft and inviting, and yes, I acknowledge I am tired. 5 minutes rest won't hurt, surely. I slip into the seat, sinking into the plush black velvet, and an involuntary sigh escapes my lips. Oh, this is bliss. It feels like I'm suspended, weightless in midair, yet I feel completely supported at the same time. My fingertips caress the surface. It's softer than the hair of a tiny kitten. Out of the corner of my eye, a shimmer catches my attention. There's nothing solid. It's like a translucent, iridescent wave, the colour of mother of pearl, and then it disappears as quickly as it arrived, leaving me to question what I'd seen. The shimmer appears once more. This time there's a little more form to it, not much, but more than before. I try not to stare. Just breathe, I tell myself. Defocus. The form increases in shape, still translucent, still shimmering. I can make out a dress with flowing folds. Here, the voice says again, and this time it's an unmistakable feminine voice, gentle and lilting, as soothing as the chair that holds me. A translucent hand and arm swings slowly towards me, holding a smooth, round crystal the size of a football. I hold my hands out to receive it and whisper thank you as the being places it in my cupped palms. I look down at the globe, wanting to identify what I'd been given, but it wasn't a solid colour. It was as though I'd been given a piece of the sky. I was holding white clouds in a glass ball. How bizarre, I thought. And as I watched, the clouds began to take shape. A dragon appeared before my eyes. A long neck held a slender face on top, eyes kind and filled with wisdom. Her long winding tail swished slowly, and she outstretched her mighty wings before folding them along her back. Her gaze never left mine. Her name is Alina, the bearer of light, said the voice. She's a forest and mountain dragon from the element of earth. Alina has been with you since the dawn of time. She is your strength and protector. No harm may befall you whilst you are under her care. Use your knowledge of the herbs to summon her. She will take you on journeys beyond your wildest dreams. Alina winked an eye and slowly began to morph. The clouds swirled and gradually began to reform. A raven! I gasped in surprise. Yes, agreed the voice. This is Frodi, descendant of Hugin. He is your source of higher knowledge. Inspiration will never leave you with Frodi by your side. Listen to his tales of the ancestors and learn from his stories of truth. Frodi will always reveal all. Call his name upon the wind to connect with him. Frodi stretched his beak towards the heavens and silently cawed. With 3 beats of his wings, his shape began to morph. As the clouds swirled once more, they begin to take shape. 2 ears appear, long and slender, and before the shape has chanced to fully form, an instant recognition flies from my lips. It's a hare, my favourite creature, I exclaim in excitement. The voice laughed. It is indeed, she says. This is Seraphina. She is a familiar of old. Her wisdom runs deep into the midst of time, and this she willingly shares with you. Use your amulet to tune into her wisdom. The utter joy of these three encounters swells my heart. As the clouds begin to dissipate once more, the globe fills with a deep amethyst purple until its colour is as solid as the object itself. Rest now, the being says. Close your eyes. My eyes, heavy now, close without resistance, and as I relax back, I feel a pressure under my ribs. It's firm but not uncomfortable. I can feel the globe leaving my hands, but not up or away. Instead, I feel it dissolve into my core with a gentle warmth that begins to spread through my very being. Who? I begin to ask. Shh, came the response, as I felt myself slipping deeper and deeper, and before I know it, there's a nothingness, just blackness in a sea of calm. The sounds startle me awake and I open my eyes. It takes a few moments for them to adjust as the scent of pine needles and forest floor curls into my nostrils. I scrabble around my pockets and under my crossed legs, swaying from one side to the other as I search for the source of the sound. I grasp my phone and on opening the case I see that the timer has reached 15 minutes. It takes a few seconds to realise where I am. I'm leaning against the base of a pine tree, my jeans feeling damp from the ground beneath me. Uncurling my legs, I wince as my muscles protest at their stiffness and gradually rise to my feet, patting myself down to remove soil and pine needles from my clothes. I shove my phone back in my pocket and orientate myself before crouching my way under bare twigs and branches and back to the winding pathway. Jonathan is sat on a tree stump a little way ahead, engrossed in something on his phone. Clear of the trees now, I stretch, and as my hands reach upwards, I'm startled by the rasping caw of a crow. Jonathan looks up and smiles as he sees me jump. We fall into a natural rhythmic stride as the forest ends and a field sprawls beyond a blackened stone wall. Good meditation? Jonathan asks. I glance over the wall, squinting as the sun streams into my eyes, and just as I'm about to answer, a movement catches my attention. Is that a hare? He continues. I think so, I smile, and as I watch, the cotton bobtail disappears into the distance. I glance upwards, watching as the clouds drift gently across the sky. Jonathan follows my gaze. Can you see a dragon? He asks. And my smile breaks into a huge grin. Did you see it wink? I most certainly did, I agree. So, how was the meditation? Jonathan asks again. You'll never believe where I've been, I laughed. I'll tell you all about it over tea. What do you fancy? Fish and chips, he suggests. Rasps a crow, gliding in front of us to settle at the side of the path. He watches us, his head cocked to one side. Good idea. Fish and chips it is, I answer. And I think Frody agrees. Don't you? If you've enjoyed this short story, then please give it a like and drop us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. And if you've not already subscribed, then it would mean the world to us if you did so. We'd love to see you again sometime soon. Until then, take care. Bye-bye for now.